This is the 18 WJTS News. In tonight's news, hydrant flushing has started in Ferdinand. The Jasper Street Department will begin a liquid road project, and we have the list of streets affected. And the Red Skelton Museum needs you to help set a world record pledge recital. Tonight on our Monday with the Mayor segment, we hear from Lagodi Mayor Noel Hardy. In sports, Kurt Duxell reviews the Southridge Semi-State baseball win. All this and more in tonight's WJTS News. Good evening, I'm Bill Potter with the WJTS News. Yesterday at approximately 4:15 a.m., the Jasper Police Department responded to a call from Shore Stay Hotel in reference to a female subject who had been battered. After further investigation, it was determined that 25-year-old Eric Evans of Madisonville, Kentucky, had battered and choked the female subject and prevented her from calling for help or leaving the room. Evan was lodged in the DuBois County Security Center and charged with domestic battery, strangulation, criminal confinement, and interference with reporting of a crime. The Town of Ferdinand Water Department will be conducting annual hydrant flushing work starting today and continuing through Friday, June 21st. Flushing will start at 9th Street and work northward. Residents may notice discolored water after flushing and are advised to run their cold water tap for 5 to 10 minutes to clear the line. If there are further issues, contact the Ferdinand Water Department at 367-2283, 367-2283. Turning to Jasper, the Jasper Street Department, along with its contractor, Seal Master, is beginning the Asphalt Pavement Preservation Project, or Liquid Road, on Tuesday, June 11th. This surface coating is similar to seal coating, but it is thicker, more durable, and designed to wear or last longer than ordinary seal coating. Motorists will not be allowed on these streets when the liquid road is being applied and until dry. Affected residents will be notified via a door hanger the day before the application begins. Residents are asked to please have all vehicles removed from garages, streets, and driveways prior to 7 a.m. on the day which the application is applied to your street, and remain out until the street is reopened, as vehicles will not be allowed on these streets during this process. Each street affected will be closed for approximately 2 days, depending on weather and material drying conditions. The streets that will be affected include Charlotte Avenue from Geisler Road to the dead end, Hillary Drive from 3rd Avenue to the dead end, Hickory Manor from Briarcliff Parkway to Hemlock Drive, Seymour Street from 6th Street to 7th Street, Clay Street from 6th Street to 7th Street, Tamarack Street, or the alley, from 7th Street to 8th Street West, West 15th Street, that is, from Rolling Ridge to West End. Heather Court from West 15th Street to the cul-de-sac. Lynn Court from Bart Lane to the cul-de-sac. Bart Lane from Ackerman Road to Ann Lane. West 2nd Street from Newton Street to Clay Street, and West 3rd Street from Newton Street to Clay Street. The Red Skelton Museum of American Comedy will attempt to set a world record for the most people reciting the Pledge of Allegiance at the same time on June 16th at 2 p.m. The event will take place at the Red Skelton Performing Arts Center, located adjacent to the Red Skelton Museum of America Comedy on the Vincennes University campus. Executive Director of the Skelton Museum, Annie Pratt, says they're confident they'll set the record since they are the first to attempt this, but they want to attract a large crowd so they can hold the record well into the future. The record-setting event is part of the Skelton Museum's 50th anniversary celebration of Red Skelton's 1969 national television broadcast, when he explained the meaning of each part of the Pledge of Allegiance. Skelton said he learned its meaning from an elementary school teacher in his hometown of Vincennes. Pratt says the year 1969 was a turbulent time when there were street protests and flag burnings throughout the country, and Red Skelton thought it was important to remind people of the importance of the pledge and our responsibilities as citizens. Skelton's explanation of the Pledge of Allegiance touched Americans, and CBS TV received many requests for copies of it soon after the broadcast. He was asked to perform the pledge at many of his concerts and patriotic events from 1969 through the nation's 1976 bicentennial. Pratt says given Skelton's long-standing defense of it, what better place could there be to set the record for reciting the Pledge of Allegiance than the museum and performing arts center that bear his name. The event will include representatives from the American Legion, 40 and 8, and the Veterans of Foreign Wars who will discuss flag etiquette. A video of Skelton's pledge will show during the program. Then the public will stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. This is a record-setting event, and due to that, each person is required to register so there is an accurate count for the official record. Participants will receive a commemorative sticker that will provide access to the Skelton Museum on the day of the program. Register online at redskeltonmuseum.org. Pratt explains that this is a chance to be part of history, help set a world record, and demonstrate the same love of country that Red Skelton showed throughout his long career in radio, television, and movies. And Vincennes is so proud to be his hometown, and this is one way they can honor him. The Red Skelton Museum of American Comedy and Red Skelton Performing Arts Center are located at 20 West Red Skelton Boulevard in Vincennes. Rockport swore in 2 reserve officers on Saturday, which included Officer Holly and Officer Spencer. If you're a fan of heavy metal and Officer Jeremy Spencer looks familiar, you may remember him from the band Five Finger Death Punch. After leaving the band in 2018, the former founding drummer passed the pre-basic course of the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. Rockport Chief of Police Jason Overfield says Spencer has been welcomed into the department. Spencer grew up in Warwick County, where he graduated from Boonville High School. Spencer, a resident of Las Vegas, Nevada, says it's an honor to come back to the area when he can and serve the community as a reserve officer. State Senator Mark Messmer of Jasper has made it known that education for our youth is key. Here's Mark Messmer with his weekly report on supporting teachers and schools.
Hello, this is State Senator Mark Messmer with this week's Messmer Report. The education of young Hoosiers is vital to the future of our state, and lawmakers continue to work hard to ensure each child in Indiana has access to a valued education that propels them toward success. During the 2019 legislative session, the General Assembly once again passed a budget that focuses heavily on providing funds for our schools, devoting over 50% of our general fund to K-12 education. This is a higher percentage than all but 2 other states in the nation. The new 2-year budget allocates over $17.4 billion to K-12 education, which is a $763 million increase from the last biennial budget. Because the needs of each community are different, locally elected school boards around the state are responsible for distributing their share of education funds. This includes determining teacher pay increases for their schools. Another way we look to support teachers this last session is the Teacher Appreciation Grant Program, a resource that provides annual stipends to every teacher who is rated effective or highly effective under their local teacher evaluations. The new state budget increases the funds for teacher appreciation grants by $15 million, bringing the total to $75 million. This allows each qualified teacher to receive an estimated $750 bonus on top of the regular pay. Along with funding, we address several other education issues, including requiring the State Board of Education to adopt a national teacher licensing exam. Indiana currently uses a state-made licensing exam, which many educators are concerned did not accurately gauge a person's readiness to be a teacher. Removing this hurdle makes sure we are not eliminating qualified teaching candidates from entering the profession. A quality education opens doors, giving our children a foundation they will use for the rest of their life. Teachers take on a critical role of cultivating the minds of our young people, and they deserve not only our appreciation, but our full support. These measures and other bills passed this session ensure that students in Indiana are receiving an education that lasts a lifetime from well-equipped teachers. This has been State Senator Mark Messmer with this week's Messmer Report.
As always, feel free to contact his office directly with your questions and concerns by email at senator.messmer@iga.in.gov, or you can call him on phone 800-382-9467, 382-9467. Thousands of Indiana teachers are scrambling to begin renewing their professional teaching licenses before new rules state lawmakers approved this spring for the renewal process take effect July 1st. The impending modification advanced quietly through the Indiana General Assembly and was passed in April. But it didn't grab the attention of most teachers until the Indiana Department of Education sent out guidance in early May on how to meet the new requirements, spurring teachers to action. From May 1st to June 2nd, the department says 22,760 teachers had professional growth plans in process, compared with just 514 plans in process during the same time last year. The change requires teachers who are renewing their license through a professional growth plan, the most common renewal path, to complete 15 hours of professional development related specifically to their community's workforce needs. That includes available jobs and skills needed by local employers. Teachers need 90 hours of professional development for their license renewal, which comes every 5 years for most teachers. Any teacher who starts the process after July 1st will have to log 15 workforce-related hours, so teachers have been racing to beat the clock. Nearly 1/3 of all Indiana teachers have now started that process, according to an update last Monday from the state's Department of Education. That will give those instructors years before they'll need to comply with the new law. Many are hoping for a chance between then and now. McCormick, the Secretary of Education in Indiana, says they have been answering a lot of calls and emails and that there has been a lot of confusion and frustration. Now stay tuned Monday with the Mayor, featuring Lagodi Mayor Noel Hardy, talking about the upcoming Lagodi Summerfest, and sports with Kurt Gooksell are next on 18 WJTS TV.